Hi guys, welcome to Throne Thursdays. Every single Thursday where I pull from the Game of Thrones tarot deck. I have some real important messages from Astrology Answers. Again, I'm not affiliated with them or associated with them. It's just a page that I really enjoy, and I love sharing the information with the people that follow me. So we have Pisces and Cancer in the sky, so we have a lot of water in the sky. So if you're someone like myself that suffers from anxiety and depression, I suffer from mostly anxiety now, not so much depression. Once you lose someone so close to you, it's like you really do value life more. Not just saying, you get depressed emotions, but it's not as deep as it used to be. So they're telling us, don't worry, it's in the sky. So the March 4th, March 5th, we're feeling these emotions. They're telling us to be by ourselves. So don't go out in social situations where the drama can be amped up. They're telling us to put on some nice music you enjoy. I also would meditate. I was feeling pulled to meditate today. They're saying cook some yum food. I saw when Deb Matthews, if you don't follow her on IG, I highly recommend it. I was feeling anxious early in the morning, and I'm like, why am I feeling this way? And it's just like, you know what? I'm going to see what Astrology Answers has to say. And exactly, there's water in the sky, and that's exactly what it is. If you suffer from anxiety like I do, I highly recommend you study astrology and see how the planets actually affect our energies. Excuse me. They're telling us to take a bath. And with me, it's like that when you take a shower, it's like they say you could sit there and do this meditation where you talk about whatever is on your mind and you scrub those worries away while you wash your body. And as you rinse your body, they go down the drain. So you no longer allow them to bother you. So like I said, a lot of water in the sky means emotions are high. Stay calm. Don't get caught up in the drama. I actually had screenshot someone's post, and I had posted it on my feed, and I just like what they said. Basically, be of your own mind and be your own person, and I'm everyone's best friend until you give me a reason not to be. But it's just like, don't let others influence you on who you have in your life. And I just like the general message. And someone just came at me, and it was like 3 pages long, and it basically told me where to go and all this, and I was just like, excuse me, I just liked something. They're saying I was spreading hate speech, and there's very much no hate speech in there. It was very much encouraging you to be your own person and to live in your own mindset and don't allow others to influence you. Kind of live where I kind of live, and it's like, I like everybody until you give me a reason not to. So I was just like, I don't have time for that. The Magician. We have some deceit going on. Wowie wow wow. With Mercury, the Magician is the planet Mercury. The planet Mercury actually influences. Good news on the Mercury retrograde front. We are almost done. We actually have Venus kind of calming Mercury retrograde. Venus has entered the sky and is calming Mercury retrograde. Venus is that like kind of, that demon soothsayer, calms everything down. Venus is all about love. So she's just basically telling Mercury retrograde to have a seat. Calm down. These poor people have been through enough. We got water in the sky with Mercury retrograde. We're all emotional. We're all anxious. We're all kind of feeding that demon. So it's just like, telling them to have a seat. So we have the Knight of Coins in the reverse. For our second card. I usually play the Game of Thrones music, but I really wanted to get this message out because I know there's a couple of people DMing me talking about the Chariot. Chariot is Scorpio, I believe. The Scorpio, it represents Scorpio. And I had a dream about my husband last night. That's so funny. And the Hermit is our last card. We've been getting the Hermit a lot lately. Not in just in in general of all the decks that I pull from. So like I said, the Magician is under the influence of Mercury. This is the type of person that feels like they're not threatening. They kind of come off as like, gee, little old me. But they're the first one that'll stab you right in the back. Success, willpower, messages, manifestations, inspiration, diplomacy. So manipulating others to his will. signifying Mercury. We're dealing with Mercury retrograde, planet of communication. So the Magician stands for the individual. I was going to say individuality, but individual, and the ego, the I. So they seem powerless to us. Like they seem like they will never do anything to us, but like gets people to trust them, and they're the first person that will your Hercules heel. It's like they'll be the first one to stab you. Driven to succeed while others suffer the impact of his lies. Reflects both the upright and the reverse message of the tarot magician. So action, ideas, energies abound. It's time for inventiveness, expansive thinking, and new direction. So the card often comes up to show new work, relationships, business startups, and other successful creative adventures. At the spiritual level, you connect with your higher self. We've been getting that a lot in a lot of the cards, a lot of the tarot decks, connecting to that higher self or true purpose. If you're waiting for news, the card tells you that you will soon have the information you need. Additional message, significant journeys, moving home. I feel like a lot of kids are moving back home after school because they're doing their final exams, a lot of stress. So this energy today is not very good because it's like it kind of puts them more on the shoulders. I can feel it a lot in my shoulders right now. So the Nine of Coins, loyalty, investments, growth, but in the reverse. The reverse knight could be negative and selfish, expecting you to do all the giving. Applied to a situation, you may be misled, so check all the agreements before you sign. I'm getting a lot of this misled kind of thing, like, that energy going on, like, being misled, being told that something is such a way when it's not. Kind of that bullying mentality. So the Chariot. Progress, victory, determination, mastery, control, energy, journey. The power that must be masterful, controlled, if the mission is to succeed. The tension between the light and the dark aspects of self and the ever-changing nature of our experiences. Stands for potential greatness and successful completion of a chapter. We begin that a lot as well. Starting a new chapter, a completion of a chapter. The Chariot reveals a major departure. You make a determined move forward, either physically through travel or moving home, or progressing into work and creative ventures. The card often comes up to show an opportunity that brings financial reward or other marks of success. Relationships progress, you commit or journey on alone, determined to follow your calling. Additional meaning, driving a new vehicle. But it's like driving, so you may be driving somewhere like on a vacation, and then they say a new vehicle. Be careful in your car. I heard accident, so be careful. The road will be slick. I think like it was like rain, or it's just like when the grass gets dewy, so it makes everything a little slick. There's a little slickness, so just be careful of that. This is like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning kind of thing. So the last one we have is the Hermit. So the Hermit. Solitude. We were talking about solitude, especially the 4th and the 5th, if you were dealing with the anxiety and the depression, but just know it's just the water in the sky. Spirituality, truth, reflection, wisdom, self-healing, journeys. The card of spiritual journeying. Entering the mind of humans and animals. Vision of past, present, and future. The tarot hermit traditionally travels a lonely path, but has hope and light to guide him, symbolized by the lantern, also bringing things to light, because it's like they're like a medium, the third eye kind of thing. The hermit follows his calling to the truth. A lot of following your calling. So it stands for oneness, eternity, realization. The hermit signifies a completion and contemplation, and learning. You may incubate new ideas and approaches, or spend time reading, researching, journaling, or simply contemplating where you are in life. We got that yesterday as well, back to school. So you might be, like with myself, I was studying astrology, so going for more astrology classes. Your craft, project that I'm working on, maybe trying to learn some more skills in that department with the computer. This quiet card also invites you to take your time making decisions, and generally go slow. So don't rush through things, especially with Mercury retrograde. In relationships, the hermit can show time apart or solitude after a breakup. Additional meaning, giving or receiving mentoring. So someone kind of steps in and says, listen, I've been following you. I feel like you can benefit from X, Y, and Z. And you make that step. You make that decision, yes or no. That's up to you. People can offer you mentoring, and it's just like, maybe it'll help, maybe it won't. Some people are a lot further along once they actually get into it. One person particular in mind that I offered a mentor, as soon as they basically got the go-ahead from someone outside of their circle, just took off like a shot, just took off like a firework, just exploded into the sky. And I was just like, we could get together and shuffle. And I was memorized in the way that she shuffled. And I just am in awe of her, and I'm always learning from her. So it's like she didn't even need anything. Honestly, like we still learn from each other. We follow each other, and I'm very proud of her. But it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't realize sometimes behind the scenes what's going on, and you're a lot further along than you realize. It's just like with her, she just needed someone to say, yes, you are not crazy. You have the ability. Go for it. And that's all she needed. She just needed someone to set her free. Very much, she was like, that beautiful black stallion in the farm and in the stable, and she just needed someone to open up her stable and just let her free. Let her run like the wild, fierce animal she is. It's just, she just took off, and I'm so proud of her. It's just, sometimes you just need that positive affirmation from someone. So we got sensitivity. I'm pulling from the Archangel deck. You are extremely sensitive to the energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. Especially right now where we're saying with the water in the sky. Sorry, I don't know why this is not focusing. It's talking about all the water in the sky. Honor your emotions, because don't drink and don't smoke or do drugs or anything to isolate or to, how would you say that? Numb that pain out. We have to feel those emotions. Just don't make a home there. Just sit there and say, listen, I'm going through this. It's kind of like an earthquake. When you go through something, significant in your life, like with myself with a major bereavement, and it disrupted our lives like humongously. And it's like, you will get aftershocks after that earthquake. So just understanding that, okay, I'm dealing this, I got triggered by a certain event, a certain movie, a certain situation. I'm allowing myself to feel what I feel, so that way as I go along my journey, this won't no longer affect me. And feeling those emotions, try to do it as much as you can without drinking or doing anything to numb that pain out. So we have passion. Trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. And that's okay, after you go through some things, if you feel like you're ready, maybe to make that step, you're not sure until you make that step what's going to happen. But that's totally fine. Just make both parties aware of the situation and just say, listen, I've dealt with a major life event. I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't want to rush into anything. I have no expectations of this, really. But, I'm just looking for someone to give me a chance, let me see what's going to happen here. Someone that can be compassionate with you. Your dream needs a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. And we do have Taurus in the sky. I haven't pulled my binder. I've had it downstairs during readings, but I always forget it when I do my cards. So the full moon, flourish, bloom, harvest, gratitude, reap rewards. Always be thankful for everything you have. I keep telling my kids that all the time. Be thankful for everything you have. Always be thankful. That it'll bring more goodness into your life. And you don't do it because you're being greedy. You do it because you're appreciative. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. I love how Sagittarius is that bow and arrow. So it's like either they're going to pull you back as far as you can and shoot you forward, or it's love. I like with the pink, I feel like it's love. That's just my personal take. And one more card that came. Expect powerful change. New moon in eclipse. The new moon. Excuse me. New beginnings. Gather thoughts. Plan. So sorry I didn't have my Game of Thrones music on today, guys. It's just what I've heard with the emotions in this guy. I know a lot of you DM me about those emotions going on, and we talk about them, and it's like, I just want to honor those that honor me with their energy and their situations. It's like I'm just letting everyone know, in the masses, like instead of just DMing everyone individually, it's the sky, hun. And it's just like, be kind to yourself. I'm right there with you with the anxiety, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to sit there and go see what Astrology Answers has to say about the forecast and see what's going on. And sure enough, there's a lot of water in the sky. It brings those heavy emotions. So just be very kind to yourself the 4th and the 5th. And, just keep on going. Keep on keeping on. That's all we can do. We're humans at the end of the day, living this human experience. And just be grateful for the great times. And in times like this, just be kind to yourself. And that's why I always tell people dealing with anxiety, study astrology, and you will notice that it's very much the sky also that plays on our emotions right now. So have a good one, guys, and we'll see you for the next daily tarot card.